Okay, part two. This is part two now. So this is the Mario section, and I don't really think there's any like serious, we'll call it like introduction to Mario. Like if you're anywhere involved in gaming or even outside of it, I feel like at this point Mario is a mainstream name where people should at least know where it comes from. So just to sort of get all the beginnings out of the way, though, Mario first appeared in a 1981 Donkey Kong game where Donkey Kong threw barrels down this level. You had to avoid it and get to the princess. And Mario got its own title in 1983, with Super Mario Bros. That's the Nintendo title. And that's at that point that's the Mario we're used to. And that's also where Donkey Kong sort of branched off and did his own thing too. So I personally never, I think I mentioned this while we were talking this before the podcast. I never personally played the 1983 version anywhere, at any time, even recently. I've played it a little bit, but I don't think I've played it much, recently. But I do recall playing it at some point. The first one I played was Super Mario World. That's the first one I played extensively. I've also played Super Mario 2 is weird. In the US it's Super Mario 2, but it's actually a little bit different. It's weird. And then Super Mario 3, I remember that one. That was a really fun one. So those are the ones that I remember, the first ones I've played. And I was really young when I played those. Probably like 5 or something like that. So that's sort of my beginnings on Mario.
Um, yeah, I think I think I played Super Mario World and maybe Mario 3 a little bit as a kid, but I never owned a NES or a Super Nintendo. So
Mm,
played them either at friends' houses. My aunt, who lived in Colorado at the time, had them, so I would play
okay.
them when we visit her there.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, the first Mario game I owned was 64.
Oh, okay.
So that was the big one. That was the
Y-
big one for me.
yeah. Okay. So, but you've played the others at some point in time, is what you're saying. You've played them. You've
Yeah,
played like one,
you
two,
know what?
three,
I'm
whatever.
not sure I've actually beaten Super Mario World.
Oh man, that's tragic to hear. I It's gonna be weird to say this because I actually didn't play 64. Um, World is really good. Like it's so simple, but it's really fantastic. I feel like before Odyssey came out, that might have been my favorite. And I've played that one. Like I played it on Myriathon. I played it, quite a bit of that one with the not just playing through the game, but also doing the Star Worlds. Like I did that on a Myriathon. That game is so simple and fun. It really encompasses what Mario is. Mario has never been, in my experience, a complicated title at all. It's a super simple concept, super simple stories with some exceptions to the rule, and it's just like really just simple fun. It's never been a game that I've felt like I've had to really buckle down and focus because I'm going to get a highly narrative driven experience. It's go through, stomp some Goombas and Koopas, and get to the
Jump
castle
over, jump over some stuff.
and hit Bowser on the head. Hit Bowser. So it's always been that simple. Even Odyssey, Odyssey obviously was more, had more to it, but it's a simple concept still. Get through levels, get to the get to Bowser, and beat him up. So it's been like a very simple title for me, and with exceptions to the rule, has stayed that way for the most part. So okay, I've never played 64, but 64 was the first 3D version of the series. That one, people adore that one. So, but it doesn't. I don't know. It from what I've
It doesn't
from
hold up.
yeah, it does
It
not hold
really
up. It
doesn't.
doesn't hold up very
If you
well.
go back and play it again now, it's rough.
I'm sure the camera I'm sure is the
It's
issue.
really the camera's rough. Like honestly, there's something weird with like the physics and the way momentum works in that game compared to other games, and it
Sure.
just again I played it a little bit on 3D All Stars, which I
Mm.
assume we'll talk about 3D All Stars a bit later.
Yeah,
But
we'll
yeah,
talk about it.
it was a challenge. The controls just don't work the same as other games that we're used to these
Yep.
days, at least. And yeah, I just going back and playing it, like I played it for a little bit, and I was like, yeah, I'm good. Like I don't need to play this anymore. I'm just not having that much fun with this. It's just
Yeah.
kind of rough. I mean, you could tell it's very rough around the edges. It was the first like 3D Mario game, and one of the first introductions, if not the first introduction to 3D gaming for a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people. Um, so yeah, it's got some issues.
Right.
But it was for its time, it was an incredible game,
Oh
very
yeah. I mean,
revolutionary.
it's yeah. No, for its time, it obviously hit the right marks.
And
But
honestly, I
oh god.
feel that way about a lot of the of that era, especially the N64 and PS1 era. I feel like a lot of those games did not age well at all. Like they're
No, they don't.
just the again, not only the graphics obviously, but just like the gameplay mechanics and yeah, just games from that era are just they're just rough. Like
Yep.
it was the first, set of 3D games that existed, and they're just if you go back and play them now, they're just like honestly, I know like GoldenEye is the quintessential like modern 3D first person shooter that like kind of felt like started it all as far as multiplayer shooters, but that game sucks. Like go back and play it now. That game is terrible.
Oh yeah,
Like
but at the time it was really like it was something you'd do with friends, right? You'd play with your
oh
friends,
yeah.
and there you
No, I
go.
mean
That's your night right there.
I can't tell you how many birthday parties we stayed up and played GoldenEye all night.
Yeah,
Like
like that was the game for that. That and well, I guess like I was more Perfect Dark. I played a lot of Perfect Dark, but it's like similar concepts right there. So with yeah, I've never played 64. I actually never played Sunshine because I didn't have a GameCube. I then got back to Mario with Wii. I played Galaxy, and then Galaxy 2. Great games. And beyond that, my other favorite one was 3D World. 3D World was fantastic. I mean, like the Wii U was not a good system, but 3D World really was great. That
the
was
Wii
a
U had some gems, and they've ported most of them to Switch at this
right.
point. But
Yes, they have.
the Wii U had some gems in
I
their
mean,
library.
3D World was a banger of a gem for me. I loved that game. They had some other stuff too, like Super Mario Bros. Wii U and things like that. Those are fun, but Super Mario World 3D was very fun. So I'm excited for that one to come out uh, for Switch with the Bowser's Fury thing. I think it's Bowser's. Yeah, that should be really interesting. I'm excited for that one. So there's a lot of good stuff there. And then yeah, Blue just mentioned in chat, Odyssey came out 3 years ago, which is actually crazy. I thought it was 2018, but it's 2017.
Yep,
That
2017.
was again another banger of a game. That was an incredible game. I'm trying to. Did you play Sunshine? Actually, I didn't ask you.
I
Yeah.
did play Sunshine.
Okay.
Yeah,
I have no like I've seen Russell play it on the
yeah.
Myriathons, but
Sunshine. You know I'm not sure like where the inspiration for Sunshine came from. It's just very different. Like it's
oh
so
yeah,
different compared to other Mario games because of the flood.
yeah, the
The
flood,
flood is just, the whole game is built around, the flood hovering, shooting stuff with water,
right?
um, and a couple other like nozzle attachments that you get later. Um, there are some sections of the game where they take FLUDD away from you, and you kind of have to do basic Mario platforming, which is
Mm-hmm.
interesting. Um, but yeah, I really don't, and I haven't replayed Sunshine since I played it on the GameCube. 20 whatever years ago. I don't know, probably not quite 20, but it was in the early 2000s, so
Oh yeah, no, it's
something
probably yeah,
something like 20 years
something like
ago.
that. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I mean, it's a cool idea. It wasn't one of my favorites. I want to say at the time I probably didn't like it better than 64.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to remember, to be honest. I know a lot of people swear by Sunshine and love Sunshine. Russell, I think, is one of those people.
Oh
He
yeah.
seems to love Sunshine. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think again, it's on 3D All Stars as well, and I have
Mm.
not gone back and tried it on 3D All Stars, but my brother Ghost did, and he was saying it's not rough in the same way 64 is, but it has some issues as well. Shows some age.
Sure.
Uh,
Of course it will. I mean, it's going to just naturally because just the graphics by themselves are going to show. It's going to show. It's that like it got past that awkward 3D like with this N64.
yeah,
It's
Sunshine
gotten
actually
past
looks
that.
it looks decent
Yeah, no, look,
actually.
it does look decent, but it's gotten past that awkward phase of 3D gaming. But even then, you're still gonna see it and go, okay, this is clearly a game made 15, 20 years ago, and that's not bad. But um, this we also have to mention too, without just the mainline series, Mario Party. We have to
Yep,
Mario Kart, obviously
Mario Kart.
have to. I played while we were camping. The Switch has this like Nintendo collection on it, and they're adding more games to it if you get the Switch Online. They're adding more Super Nintendo games, and they're adding some good ones now for me. They've added Donkey Kong Country 2, but and for the recently they've added that, but they have Super Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo, and that game is pretty fun. I had never actually played that one, and it's really fun. So Mario Kart is definitely a title that's also really really pushed forward. Very cool, very cool racing concept. Birthed some other, I don't want to say copycats too heavily, but Donkey Kong Racing, Crash Bandicoot Racing, Sonic Racing, all that. Like taking the game
Kart
characters and creating a racing game
kart
around it.
racer kart racer games.
Yep, kart racer games. Very cool series too. I love it. The Mario Party games. I know you love them. I know you used to love them in college and beyond. But
So I've kind of gotten
okay,
over
you've got
my
over. Okay.
hang up on Mario Party. As a kid, I loved Mario Party, to be honest. Like I
Mm-hmm.
think I bought like every single one for the first like six or seven, to be honest.
Yeah.
Um, and that was a game that I think came out yearly for a while. Like they literally released a new one every single year
Uh huh.
for a while.
Yep.
Um, and I the thing with Mario Party is you got to realize that Mario Party is BS, and you're gonna get screwed over, and you just can't get mad. You just can't be mad
You
when
can't
you
be
lose.
mad.
When you lose in Mario Party, you just can't be mad. You can't get salty over Mario Party because the game is like designed to screw you over. It's just like RNG. Like at the end, you just get RNG, and you can be leading by 2 or 3 stars, and then someone like steals a star from you, and then like the bonus stars come
Right.
out, and it's not stuff you did well at, and you just lose. And it's like, well,
Yep.
that's Mario
You
Party.
can't
There you go. You lose.
when you take that game seriously, it can get tough. And just to sort of add on to this from Blue's comment, it's a board game. It's like Monopoly. Be careful. Board game folks take their board games
Oh yeah,
seriously.
those are serious
Be
business.
very careful. There are some board games where people will absolutely swear by that. Those board games are real business, depending on the game you're playing, or some of those like card games that have the board game elements to it. You got to be. Oof. There
Yeah,
there
I
are
mean,
some folks that really dive
there
into that.
there's always luck inherent luck involved in board games and board game like games like Mario Party, which is just
Yeah,
a board game in a
it's got
video game.
dice. Like it's got dice. Of course it
Basically,
is.
you roll dice, and like sometimes you're just gonna, if you play Monopoly and you just don't land on the properties you need, or you keep landing on the dude's, hotel property, and you have to pay him like 500, like you're gonna lose because you're just unlucky. Like
Yeah, you just
that
can't keep up.
happens.
Yep.
I mean, there's obviously strategy in like building up the, again, we're just going to stick with Monopoly here, building up the right properties and like maybe trading with people to see if you can get things that can
Mm-hmm.
work out, but there's inherent chance involved, and sometimes you just get unlucky and you lose.
Yeah.
um so yeah, I mean, that's how it goes with board games. I think Mario Party is worse in terms of that. Like, there is some strategy and some skill in Mario Party. Like, with the mini games, there are some that are skill based, others that are pure RNG as well.
And others that are highly inappropriate. Shake It Up. I'm staring at you.
Yeah, Shake It Up is just
Staring directly at Shake It Up.
amazing. Um, and yeah, but Mario Party takes it to the next level with the RNG, with again like the star stealing, and
Yep.
the last like 5 or 10 turns they just like double everything, and everything just goes like insane.
Mm-hmm.
And then the bonus stars at the end, it's like, well,
Mm-hmm.
you never know what's
Yeah,
gonna
sure.
happen.
No, you really can't know.
Sometimes there's a like, oh, bonus star for the person who farted the most during the game. Like, who knows? Like,
Okay. Okay, that was just like oddly like completely not even
again, there's bonus. No, I know, but like the point is, there's bonus stars for just random stuff.
if if that was
Ear
in if I was in the game, I would be playing Mario Party all the time. That would be
yeah, I mean,
such a great.
early on when they first introduced bonus stars, I don't remember which game that was, but it was like there was one for winning the most mini games, one for like collecting the most coins, and
Yep.
I don't remember what and then the happening star, the one for landing on the most green question mark squares. So in those, it was less random, with the exception of the happening one. Like, you could guarantee the mini game one if you were good, and usually the coin one kind of followed with the mini game one,
Yep.
because you won a lot of coins from mini games, so you could usually guarantee those. But in the more recent Mario Party games, there's like 10 different ones, and it picks 3 out of the hat, and like sometimes it's just like, well, there you go.
Just like a
they're
candy
all
one
they're
or
just like
whatever.
all RNG.
The
It's like, who
farting.
used the most
Mhm.
items, the farting one,
The
like who,
farting one. Yep.
blue squares, red squares, happening squares, Bowser, like, who knows?
The just by as a side comment, we should definitely talk about board games at some point on here. I used to love playing
I
board
love
games.
board games. I
Yeah, so
actually love
we
board
actually need to talk
games.
about board games at some point. So the Mario Party though, like, yeah, if you take Mario Party too seriously, you're gonna really be mad, and that's kind of what happened
Yeah.
in colleges. We were like playing, let's play Mario Party, and Spoon would come in, Mario Party again. But the so just to sort of go back just to more general Mario a bit more, because I think Mario Party is like a really another great title in that series. Mario's gone into various different stuff too. Like there was a JRPG, or I guess I'm gonna say JRPG. I'm gonna say JRPG Mario. Super Mario, the 7 stars one.
Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven
Yep, Legend of the
Stars.
7 Stars. Yep, Super Mario RPG Legend of the 7 Stars. 7 stars, which was
And then
great. That was a good one.
Paper Mario and Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door, which
Reminder:
followed it.
Omega Lol Gino not in Smash. Omega Lol. Just gonna say it. Omega Lol. And yeah, Paper Mario. Yep, Paper Mario. There's a lot of different,
And then the current Mario RPG series is the Mario, and they changed it to the Mario and Luigi games.
Yep.
That's kind of the Mario RPG that exists now.
Yep.
Paper Mario is kind of its own weird thing. I haven't played any of them since.
Uh oh. We got a Spectrum. That's a good face, by the way, for the Spectrum.
Oh, really? Good
Yep.
face for the
That
Spectrum.
was a good Spectrum face.
Super Paper Mario for the Wii, which still had some RPG elements and retained some of what Paper Mario was, but was mostly a platformer again at that point. And then the two after that, Sticker Star and Color Splash, I know people generally did not like very much. I didn't play them. And the most recent one, which came out only a few months ago, came out over the summer, Origami King,
Mm-hmm.
was apparently much more well liked, though it was still different. It was something different, but apparently people actually liked it this
Okay.
time. So
Okay.
yeah,
The the other thing I was going to mention with Mario is there was one of those I was going to mention. There's a Mario title that's Mario and Rabbids. So there was like a XCOM, like a turn-based strategy
yeah.
Mario, very simple, type of game. The Mario actually,
Mario Sports,
yep, Mario Sports, tennis, soccer, or
tennis,
football,
strikers,
as they say, football,
baseball.
baseball. Yep, baseball. Sure.
I actually loved the Mario baseball games, but there was only two of them. Made me sad.
Tennis is tennis has been pretty solid, and
Mario Golf.
golf. Yep, of course. We can't even forget about golf. Cannot forget about Mario Golf. I'm trying to think of. I think that those are the main ones. And like,
Soccer, tennis,
yeah,
golf,
soccer, yeah. Because
baseball.
Mario Strikers is great. I
Mario
wish they would bring
Strikers was
that
great.
back. Wish they would bring that back. Like Mario's God, it's been everywhere. I mean, really, Mario has done so many different things, and they've missed occasionally. Okay, they've missed occasionally, but I would say vast majority have been quality, a lot of quality. The misses have been very random Mario games. Like there were some Mario educational games that were quite awful. Another Mario game, by the way, that will fly under the radar that was amazing. Mario typing. I learned how to type
Teaches,
from
dude.
Mario.
Mario teaches typing. That was
Mario
my
teaches typing.
jam.
Mario teaches typing. Amazing title. Well done. Nintendo came through again and taught us how to
Yeah,
type. Mario Mario typing was the greatest. They they really did it well. Mario's missing gets a lot of flack because Mario is missing is bad. Uh, it is not a good game. You could like
I've
it,
not.
but it's not a
I
good
don't know
game.
that. I have not heard of that one. I don't know.
It's an educational game and it's bad. There are some educational Mario games that are bad. We're just gonna say that. It's that's right. It's a history educational game. Yeah, it was bad. Don't. I would just not recommend playing it. But if you really want to play it, go play it. Really, you should play it. It's Mario's got all sorts of uh, of like various different genres it's been in. It's I feel like it's been in almost all the ones I could think of, except for like shooters. I don't think there's a Mario shooting game. Mario MOBA, of course. Don't give them ideas. We're already getting a Pokemon MOBA, and that made so many people angry. I don't think they haven't even talked about the Pokemon MOBA since then.
Nope.
They
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 haven't. They haven't
they
talked about it.
hid right back into the turtle shell. They poked out of the turtle shell and said, "Yeah, we're going to talk about a Pokemon MOBA," and then pop right back in.
Nope.
They,
Nope.
there
People
was
didn't like this.
There was a Mario shooting game, Yoshi Safari. Oh, really? Okay, then I'm wrong. There you go. Mario's been just about everywhere. He was a shooting guy. Okay, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Good to know. Yeah, Mario's been a lot of places. He's done good work. He's got there's a lot of cool stuff. I love Yoshi. I loved you when Yoshi was introduced. Um, but there's also other Mario characters that have been introduced. Recently, more recently, I'll say, like Daisy and Rosalina. Those characters.
I know Mario's the icon. I've always been a Luigi guy. I like
Poor
Luigi.
Luigi.
I
He's
really
such a
do.
nice guy. He's such a
Poor,
nice guy.
he's such a nice guy. I love
He's so
Luigi.
nice.
He just gets shafted every time.
He was in
Mario's
this.
Mario's always the
He
hero.
was an asset in '64, and they said no. How
No,
sad.
they said no.
They said
Sorry,
no.
Luigi.
It's just like, okay, I wanna click this link. It's just like,
Luigi's
oh yeah,
Luigi's my boy, and he just gets
he gets
shafted.
screwed. He's
I
a
mean, there's
good
been
he's a good
you know
kid.
there's Luigi's Mansion. There's that
Yeah,
series. But
Luigi's Mansion series is good. That's a good series. We'll put that under the Mario umbrella. It's that's definitely a Mario inspired title. Is Luigi's Mansion? I think that's a definitely a good one to put in the bucket. Mario and Sonic Olympics. Mario's been to the
yeah,
Olympics with Sonic.
that falls under the sports category. I
Yep.
would say
Yeah, for
a
sure. No,
little,
for
a
sure it
little
does.
different.
Um, one of those characters has had more success than the other. Um, oh man, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I'm missing for Mario, but it's like there's a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, as you said, Mario's kind of been everywhere in terms of genres. He is like the quintessential gaming icon. Like I feel like if you go up to a random person on the street and say, "Name a video game character for me,"
Probably
like
Mario.
Mario is going to be the answer.
Probably
Like
Mario.
probably more than 50%
Yeah,
of the time.
it's definitely going to be Mario is at least up there in like the top three, I think. Okay, I want to talk about the Mario 3D All Stars because this
Okay.
Mario All Stars was a thing, by the way. There was a All Stars original version, quote unquote, which was like the Mario All Stars had Super Mario 1, 2, 3, and Super Mario All Stars was a thing. So Super Mario 3D All Stars, playing off the name, is 64, Sunshine, and the
Galaxy
Galaxy,
One.
just Galaxy One, which is weird that it's just Galaxy One. Okay, you mentioned you wanted to talk about this a bit. What exactly are your thoughts on those three titles being? We've talked about this before, I think, but I
Yeah, I
feel
mean we
like
talked about it when it was announced,
yep.
but they've I mean, okay. No doubt these games are all good and like classics in their own right. I know people have wanted re-releases of probably all three of these games at this point. Um, but I'm gonna be honest, Nintendo has done the most shoddy, slap together cash in product with 3D All Stars.
Oh boy. Okay, here we go. Go ahead. Go ahead. I want
Um,
to hear this.
it like they just didn't do anything. They literally okay,
No, go ahead.
from what I've heard, basically they just emulated all three games like in a package on the Switch and like put them together with like a main menu and then it's just like an emulator. There's these so this is most apparent apparently in most apparent apparently good English
Nice.
um in Sunshine where there are these in the secret levels where you lose flood there's sometimes these like moving platforms, and in the original version the platforms are just there and
Oh,
hold on
yep.
spectrum
Okay. Okay. Keep going. Keep going. You're back.
these like dots
Uh.
and like a track line basically for the platform and like the path it is going to move on, and those track lines are there in 3D All Stars, whereas in before in the original version those aren't there, and if you play it on an emulator they are there.
Okay.
So people are kind of speculating that they're just literally emulating the game. Um,
That's probably the case. If that's
in,
there you go.
instead of doing like a proper port. There's also like there's nothing in the way of options, and also apparently in Sunshine, for people who played Sunshine a lot, they like inverted the camera. They changed the camera controls in some way for both when you aim flood and I think when you just move the camera
Uh
normally.
huh.
So apparently they inverted the camera controls and there's literally no way to change it back.
Oh.
For those people who like speedrunners who play Sunshine a lot and are used to playing the GameCube version and the way the camera is on that, they just inverted the camera and gave you no way to change it. There's no changes to any of the games
Mm-hmm.
whatsoever. There's no improvements. There's no like, hey, do you want to change the button mapping? Do you want to change the way the camera works? Like they didn't even add like they could have added free camera for these games.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like in 64, it's just like the camera's just like ass in 64. It's awful. Um, No, they didn't make any change. They didn't. That's the problem. They didn't make any changes. The thing when you do like a re-release or like a port of a game, you should at least make some small like QoL improvements to the game.
Yeah.
At least add like controllers, like just setting, even just like a settings menu that allows you to adjust again the controls or I don't know the music, anything. And
Hmm.
they didn't add anything. It's just like they just slapped the games together on a disc with like kind of a slapped together main menu and sold it for $60, and it's a limited time release, and that's it.
Yeah.
So it yeah, there's a video,
Hmm.
a YouTuber who I quite like, who made a video on this, that
Okay.
who will do a much better job of explaining this, and I will find it and link it
Okay.
if you.
Please find it, because most re-releases of really any kind, they'll have added features or to because and that makes sense for the re-release of the game. So like if you think of like, oh, maybe there's a game that had 3 difficulty modes but now there's a fourth one, or there's this one's coming out but it's in HD, like the quality has been updated quite considerably, or we've allowed you to change this. There's like a lot of these games have very specific changes that make sense for the HD or updated release or re-release. The Oh, the visuals were updated. Okay, I didn't know that the visuals were updated. Keep in mind, I actually
Slight,
don't know that much about that.
slightly.
But okay,
64 was 64. They didn't even change to 16:9. It's still in 4:3. So if you played on an HD TV, you get like a 4:3. It takes off
oh, okay,
part of your screen.
okay,
Um,
got it. I didn't
so,
know that.
so yeah, they so I think on maybe I think some of them they maybe HD upscaled like slightly, but they did they did very little to these games
Mm-hmm.
to make them better. And I know, like, okay, maybe the argument is we want to uphold the integrity of the original product and let people play them as it was.
Sure,
But a lot of times when you see these re-releases and these ports and etc., they will have like you can play you can play the new updated version with the QOL improvements and maybe the updated graphics, etc., etc. Or if you want, you can toggle this and just play the old. If you want to play the old version here, you can click this button and
sure,
boom, you can play. You can play it the old way too if you prefer that.
sure,
And as I said, again, it's not terrible. I'm not sure. I would say it's not worth your money, especially if you want to like replay these games. There's really not a good way to do it on Switch or on modern technology. But as I said, it just feels like a pretty shoddy cash in to me. They
sure.
could have done more justice to their most famed franchise.
Yeah, the part of the anniversary, I've like any time you see like timed stuff, my first signal is like, okay, you just really want the money now, and that's the reason why you do it for this specific case. Like, why not just have it open all the time? Kind of doesn't make a ton of sense. But the those three in particular, the one thing I was curious about is like, okay, you put Galaxy One on there, but you didn't put Galaxy Two on there, and I don't know, like part of me seems weirded out by that, because the other reason why I say because of that is, 3D World is getting a Switch release, and that makes sense. Like, okay, it's got its own separate release. You don't have to put it with 3D All Stars. But like, Galaxy 2 also came out on the Wii with Galaxy. Why not just put lump Galaxy 2 in there too? Like, what stopped you from doing that? Now you're just gonna get Galaxy 1, but you're not gonna get the second one. You're not gonna re-release it for Switch as of this moment. I don't know, but why not just do it there too? They kind of makes me wonder why they didn't do that for that one as well. I am curious about it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think Galaxy 2 at least should have been on here, if not also including 3D World, to be honest.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm okay with the 3D World side release because it is getting additional content. I'm a bit more
yeah, but
okay with it.
I'm I I'm not sure it should be $60. It will be, but
It
I'm
will,
not
yeah,
sure it
for
should
sure
be
it will be.
$60. Um, Oh, that's the other thing about 3D All Stars that's mentioned in this video. It did retail for $60, and again, a lot of these like collections, when they redo them, they'll be like 40 or 50. Like they
Sure.
won't quite be full price. And this is just like, hey, you get 3 old Mario games for $60. We'll just pull them out of the vault, slap them together haphazardly, and there you go.
And $60. Yeah, some most the you'd think it'd be like $40. You think it'd be something like, okay, you get that discount because it's we're not like making any, like, we'll make visual improvements, but anything beyond that we're not doing. So for that, it's just like, okay, well, why would you full price release these games like that? I don't know. That is, it is a bit weird. That in that case, I will say, like I said, I'm still okay with 3D World being separate. I am still okay with it. I wish it wasn't $60. I am happy that it's getting like some, again, Bowser's Fury, whatever that is. I hope it's significant in some way, because I'd like to replay that game on Switch. I really, I really would. I still have my Wii U, but I'd really like to play it on Switch, and hopefully that Bowser's Fury content is actually a nice addition. But yeah, like $60 for 3D World is definitely a hefty price, considering the game is I have to, I think it's like at least 5 or 6 years old at this point. Um, that's
Probably, yeah. I
yeah,
don't remember.
that's kind of interesting that it's, even with Bowser's Fury, is $60 retail. I imagine it's gonna be $60 retail. It's interesting, and that one's not coming out till February. Was that it?
I think
Yeah,
that's right.
sometime in February. So I don't know. It's interesting, like the whole anniversary thing. There are some things that I like. I love the battle royale Nintendo thing that they did. I watched some streams of it. I like that a lot. It's a cool idea. I wish that was staying. I don't think it's going to stay forever. It's going to go away at some point. I wish it was staying. I don't know why it's going away. It's kind of confusing. Uh oh, really? People are fuming over it? Oh no. Why are they fuming over it? I like the concept. I think it's interesting. Are they fuming because it's going away, or are they fuming because there's a major issue? That's kind of interesting. I think I thought it looked pretty fun, and it was kind of a nice little mode for that. That's It's because there's something wrong that's really unfortunate. Oh, it was lazy. Okay, the yeah, the limited part. Okay, there's a very scary trend if that's the case. If people are saying it's lazy, because it seems like a couple things that Nintendo's doing for this anniversary are kind of lazy. It's it's that's yeah, that's very tough. So that doesn't really inspire me for 3D World, but it's kind of unfortunate that the whole anniversary event is being, uh, rightly so or not, called out for a bunch of these lazy, like, okay, here, here's 3D All Stars. We're not going to do much with it except for touch up some visuals, and that's it. Here's this battle royale mode that we're not going to do much with, and it's limited. It's definitely not a good. It's definitely not good as a look if that's the case. I mean, because I know a lot of
Yeah.
people were excited for all these games to be re-released like this, and it's not a good look if this is the case. Like I'm not following too much with all this, but I thought that the 35 idea was pretty good. If people are saying it's, if they're saying it's, there's some issues with it, I'll believe them, because I've only seen a couple streams of it. I thought it looked cool, was my thing. Yeah, so I don't know. Other thoughts? We've got, before, we've got some time to kill with some of these.
Yeah, I mean, Spectrum's doing me dirty right
Oh,
now, but
Spectrum's killing you.
I'll see if I can get a word in edgewise. Yeah, I mean, I see what Blue, like. Obviously, a lot of the stuff they're doing is cool. Again, I love the idea of re-releasing 3D Mario games again. 64 is iconic. Sunshine is
Mm-hmm.
kind of a cult classic. Not everyone loves it, but there
Mm.
are people who it's like they swear by it. So, um, in the Galaxy one, uh, for me, Galaxy 2 was the real banger for me.
Sure.
Galaxy 1 was good, but Galaxy 2 knocked it out of the park, in my opinion, from what I remember. when I played them back on the Wii. And
Mm-hmm.
I definitely agree with what Blue is saying. Like they're doing some cool stuff again for younger people who maybe haven't gotten the chance to play these old Mario games or 3D Mario games in this case. It's really cool because it's just kind of hard to get your hands on them. They're expensive to get
Mm-hmm.
otherwise. And even though this is $60 is kind of steep for a 3 game collection, it's still cheaper than buying the games themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
On um,
Well, you got
so
getting everything together to get them. Yeah.
yeah, to get like a 64 with the game would be insane. So yeah, I mean, I think it's good for that, and again, I like the idea of it. The problem is it's Mario's 35th anniversary. We should be celebrating. It should be good PR for Nintendo, and it's turned into bad PR because of some of the ideas of the laziness with
Mm-hmm.
3D All Stars and apparently with 35. I haven't tried 35, nor have I heard these complaints. I haven't really looked into it. Um, and the limited release thing, even when they announced this off the bat, people are just like, "Wait, why? Why is
Yeah.
this a limited release? This makes no sense." Like okay, if you want to make, I know we talked about this in the past, but if you want to make the physical edition a limited release, limited print, fine, go for it. You know, it's a physical copy. People don't buy physical that much anymore. People want like the collector's
Mm-hmm.
edition or whatever with the physical. All cool.
Mm-hmm.
But why would you take the game off the eShop?
I don't know. It,
That I just don't understand. Why would you take the game off the eShop?
yeah.
Again, with what
It's kind of weird.
Blue was saying earlier, I think like yeah, for physical games, I think a lot of games run on pretty limited print now. Like they probably don't like do production of games physically that long after release anymore because
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's just how it is. But why why the heck would you just take the game off the eShop? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, that's weird. That we talked about that before. That's such a weird. It's a weird case because I don't get the benefits of taking it off. You're like, oh, you want everybody to buy it right away, but it's like, okay, but if people want to buy it, they'll probably just buy it no matter what the time is. Like, and if people really want to play it, they'll buy it early anyway. Like, why do you need to make this feel
Yeah.
limited and feel like, oh, if I don't get this, I'll miss out? It's like a
The
weird it's a weird thing that they've done here. I don't actually get the rationale. Whatever rationale there is, I don't think I'll get it.
yeah, the only I've heard someone say they think that obviously they don't know, this is pure speculation, that they think they'll once the limited time runs up, they'll like split them up and sell them each for $60 on the eShop,
Oh,
which would just be the they
that would be the by far the worst idea they could come up with as you get Spectrum. Ooh,
yeah.
that would just like after the limited release, splitting them up and then selling it for what would be a full price game would be one of the worst decisions they could
They,
make.
they would just get annihilated. Like
Oh yeah,
obviously
they'd
it's
get destroyed.
Nintendo, so it's not like it would probably really hurt them in the long run, but man, would Twitter have a field day.
Yeah,
Like
Twitter would be like, "What are you doing?" They might separate them and sell them like individually for like $30 a piece, and then you're like, okay,
yeah, I mean
they might do that, which would still be kind of weird, but
that I don't think they'd do that either. I think it's just they know what a shitstorm that would cause.
yeah, that
Like
would be really
they're
bad.
not that they're not that stupid. Like
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's I don't know. It's strange. I don't obviously fully understand it, but yeah, I feel like there were some cool things though. This obviously this the original anniversary announcement. Um, now that we've sort of gone through all those games, I imagine people have sort of blown through all those games, and unless you're like speed running it or something, you're kind of done with all of them. So the the lifespan of those 3D All Stars and 35 and whatever have gone by. Now you're sort of just waiting for 3D World and I guess Live Circuit. I don't know if that's come out already. That's pretty much it
I
though.
think it did. I think it did come
Come out.
out.
It did come out. Okay, I don't I don't know at all, but there's really not much else to look forward to for this anniversary thing, unless I'm completely missing something. There's really not much else to look forward to, which is kind of
Yeah, just 3D,
disappointing.
just 3D
It's just
World.
3D World, which is a little
I
disappointing.
really wish. I hope. I hope that they add Galaxy 2 to 3D All Stars as either. I mean, I wish it would be free DLC, but in
Wishful
all
thinking.
likelihood, it would be paid. It would be paid DLC.
Yeah, probably paid.
Um, at least $20 or $30 probably.
They'll add
Um,
it a month before it gets removed, or like right before it gets removed from the eShop. They'll be like, "Oh, look, we're gonna add this like right before it leaves, so you better buy it. Better hurry."
yeah, I mean, I hope they do. Galaxy 2 is amazing. Um, I haven't I haven't really played 3D All Stars that much. As I said, I booted up Mario 64, played it for a bit, didn't like it all that much. Um, and for the most part, after that, I was playing Galaxy One, which was fun. Like Galaxy One
Mm-hmm.
is good, and yeah, but they get like like the games are not very long. If you
Mm-hmm.
like sit down and actually play them, it probably won't take you more than a couple of days to beat any of them.
Oh
They're
yeah,
really not that long.
the mainline Mario games weren't, in my experience, I mean, unless they're doing like 100% or something, that long. Like Odyssey isn't that long, but if you try and 100% it or anything, it takes more time. Or if you do the extra content, it takes more time. The mainline stories weren't always the part that really took the most time. There's always extra content. There's always extra content to find. Even like the older Mario games had that. Like Super Mario World has additional content, and like you can try and 100% that game. There's
Yeah, but even
no, go ahead, go ahead.
like with 64, Sunshine, and maybe even Galaxy, I don't think even 100%ing them takes very long. Like getting all
Mm-hmm.
the stars basically
That's
takes
true.
all that long.
That's true.
Um,
That's true. I mean, like especially now, 100% in games, certain games isn't that difficult because the internet exists. But that's like, I don't know. My point was just like the mainline stories weren't really what made the game long. It's like all the other stuff. You gotta, if you want to get the full experience with that, you got to do everything else and really push for that now, because that's what they put the extra time into is collection and things like that. Which some that's definitely appealing for people, is like finding all that stuff and getting that platinum, right? So
yep.
that's where all that comes from. But yeah. So any other stuff with Mario? Any other stuff that you feel we should
Um,
we should quickly highlight?
I mean,
Okay.
let's talk about like our
Yeah,
favorites
sure. No.
and
Yeah,
why
sure.
we like them so much.
Okay. You want to start?
Sure.
Okay, go for it.
Um, well, I've talked a lot about Galaxy 2. Galaxy 2 is up there for me. It's not my favorite, but I love Galaxy 2. Really fun game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did kind of do away with the story stuff from Galaxy 1, and they kind of did away with the hub world as well and turned it more into like a course clear type Mario game, but I don't know. I just dug it. I dug the level design.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot to do. I think there were like 240 stars in that game as
Woo.
opposed to the usual 120.
Woo.
Um, yeah, Galaxy 2 was great. My current favorite is Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
Odyssey was just a banger. That game
Yeah.
was so good. Like there was just so much to do, so many moons to collect. They went away from stars and it was moons. Um,
The song was
um,
great. That song, by the way, in the city was great. That was
oh,
one of the best
banger,
songs. One of the best
banger.
songs I've heard in a game. Unbelievably good.
Yeah,
Unbelievably good song.
that song was so good. Yeah, the music was great. The movement with Cappy being able to like cap jump and all the extra cool stuff you could do with it,
Mm-hmm.
super cool. Um, the when you got into the actual like difficult levels in the end game, there were actually some pretty challenging levels in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like the darker side stuff
Yeah,
you had to do for the end.
because I
Yeah,
did I did Odyssey stuff, and yeah, there are some tough extra challenge levels, like, and like turn yourself invisible and go through the level. There was some tough stuff you
yep,
could do.
yeah. There were some very tricky levels at the end in the
Yeah.
when you're getting towards the darker side and trying to get like 100% type stuff. I did
Mm-hmm.
100% the game. I got 999 moons. So
Wow.
I even grinded coins like at the end to get the last like 100 or so moons you needed for
Holy
that. And
moly.
I
And you got spectrumed. Hold
my
on.
back, yeah.
Hey, up, you're back. You're back.
I bought
Oh no.
yeah, that game was just so fun. If you have a Switch and you haven't played it yet, go play
Yeah,
Mario Odyssey.
that's you have to. If you have a
It's
Switch, you have to play it.
it's so good.
Yeah, you have. You just have
Um
to.
Other favorites, Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door, especially on the GameCube, was
Mm-hmm.
that was such a good game. Like yeah, I wish Paper Mario would go back to what it was when it was an RPG, but they don't seem to have any intention of doing that. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, great game. Like good script, well written, really fun. Um, Nothing else to say, just a fun like Mario RPG
Mm-hmm.
uh, romp.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think those are like some of my top three. Obviously, in the sports categories, like Strikers was great, and
Oh,
I liked the
Strikers.
baseball one. I've liked all the sports ones to be honest. Like Strikers was great. I liked the baseball one, Mario Super Sluggers. I
Yeah.
liked Mario Golf Toadstool Tour was great.
Mm-hmm.
I like the tennis ones, but I'm not like super into them. But I know they're good. Um,
Oh, there's a basketball one. Oh boy.
there was a basketball one. I did not play that one. Um, yeah, I think that's it for me.
Okay. So I'll just go with like the ones that I like the most. Odyssey, I love that one a lot. Obviously, I did speed runs of it. That was really fun. I thought like it was just like a really creative and fun game. Really hadn't played a Mario game quite like it before, so it was really interesting to just see the way it was made. I like the other one. I like quite a bit. I mean, I like some others. Like I do like Mario Kart. Mario Kart is really fun. Mario Kart is very fun. It's exciting. It's great to play with a group. I think it's a great game. It's a great fun like party type of game. Super super great.
I did forget to mention Mario Kart 8. I also just
Yeah,
loved Mario
Mario
Kart
Kart
8.
was
Was so good.
great. Um, I feel like I would say my favorite is probably still just Super Mario World. That game holds up well. It like surprisingly well. Just that it's just a simple platformer. Story really don't obviously it's Mario story, but it's very fun. Like it really is super fun, cool stuff. There's extra content in it at the end, like Mario games we have now. Those worlds, those extra content, they're not easy. I would say they're not necessarily terribly difficult, but they're not easy. You can get through it. So like Super Mario World had a lot of great stuff in it that it's just like it was on the Super Nintendo, so it obviously couldn't take advantage of graphics we get now. But there was a lot of good stuff in that one, so I really appreciated that one. Mario Strikers was so fun when we played that. That was such a fun game to play and try and get through. I wish they would make that one, make more of that one, but they won't, unfortunately. Or like put it on the Switch or something. That would be great if they just put it on the Switch
Yeah,
because
they
that
really haven't done a Mario sports game in a while. Like
yeah
they've had Mario and Sonic Olympics happens every couple of years when the Olympics happens, and there was like a there was a Mario Golf on the 3DS.
probably, but
But
I haven't.
that was like 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah,
That was a while.
at
I
least
don't
I.
remember. There was Mario Tennis Aces. That's the most
Yep,
recent one, which was on.
that was on Switch.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. But anyway, like I was saying, I like those. Mario Party is fun with like a group of people. Like when we play in college, it's pretty fun. Just have a good time. But I
Yeah,
think like
you
my,
can't take it
but
too seriously.
yeah, yeah. But I think Super Mario World and Odyssey are my favorites. I really enjoyed those games. They're simple, very fun. I think you know some of the extra stuff is also really fun. Like the challenge levels they're not overly challenging, but they're not easy. You got to practice them a few times and figure some stuff out. But it's really rewarding getting through. So those are my favorites for sure. Anyway, um, so any other stuff? Otherwise, we can kind of wrap up here because I'm gonna wrap up for dinner soon.
I think I'm good.
Okay. Well, thanks, Blue Raffle, for joining us and everybody else who was joining. And if you're watching on YouTube, just feel free to like our videos and subscribe on the channel. Really helps out to get some exposure. If you're on Twitch watching, just again be sure you're follow our Twitters so you can get updates on it. Again, we haven't really discussed it yet, but the podcast might change dates. And I will say this week there probably won't be a plays because of school for me, and I imagine for Spoon too this week because he's got
Yeah,
the test next
no,
week.
that's not
So
happening.
there
Not for me.
there's very little chance of a plays event just because of that fact. If there is, it's because I finished my term on Thursday or my midterm on Thursday early, and that's either a good or bad sign. So just it's it's not good if I'm finishing early. It's probably not good. So anyway, thanks for joining. We will be back next week for sure on Monday. I think Monday. If anything changes though, follow our Twitters and you'll know for sure. But as of right
Yeah,
now, we're coming back Monday. I think.
yeah. If we change, it'll move to Wednesday. I
Yep.
believe is the plan. We'll let you know. Also, I don't know how much I'll do it this week, but I'm thinking about streaming at least some of my playthrough of Cold Steel 4. I did that a bit
Okay.
for Cold Steel 3. I don't know if there's interest. If there's interest in it, I'll stream it.
Sure.
Though there's probably not because it would be. I don't know. It's not a particularly fun game to watch. There's a lot of cutscenes. There's a lot of just like menial walking around and
Sure. I mean,
stuff like that. And also, if you haven't like played the series, you
you're
won't
not
be
gonna know.
following
Yeah.
anything that's going on.
You're not gonna
So
know.
I don't know. I may try it. We'll see if there's any
Sure.
interest in it. If you're watching and have interest in that, you can message me or whatever. Let me know.
Mm,
I don't know.
got it.
So
But yeah, feel free to stop by there. And for me, I don't know. We'll see after my midterms. We'll see. I was thinking of playing through Assassin's Creed Odyssey again, starting next week before Valhalla comes out. And the other thing is, if at some point I can, pull together some little funds or something, maybe we'll do another card opening stream in a couple weeks or something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see about that. But anyway, thanks everybody for joining and watching, and we'll see you guys next week. Hopefully, Monday and or Wednesday will be the podcast. So, have a good rest of your day or night for wherever you are.
see ya.
See you.